Hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, aka Man of the People, because you have a friend in the media where you can ask any questions about the Carolina Panthers team. That is I. So let's go ahead and get into this update on this Monday, August 19th. Carolina Panthers have now played 2 preseason games. Excuse me. We have one more remaining before we then get into the regular season. And now, normally with the new rules, you don't expect many roster moves until after the third preseason game when they have to make a bunch of them. Well, with this Carolina Panther team, 2 things have been happening. One, they've been getting a lot of injuries. And number 2, Dan Morgan has said that, hey, that number 1 waiver pick is kind of just like being able to get the draft again. Sorry for the pause there. It's late at night, and sometimes I forget what I'm about to say. So they have been very active. So I'm going to go through all the moves that they have. A few of them may be surprising. And as always, I'm here to take your questions, break down any of this stuff. What does this mean? What does that mean? Whatever questions you all may have, I'm here to answer them all. So let's go ahead and do this. Cameron Walker, Chris, this isn't the normal background. What are you talking about? What you talking about back there? Is that what you're talking about? No, it's not the normal background, but I keep it active. I keep it different for you all. All righty, let's go ahead. Without further ado, let's take a look at the current transactions. All right, so we signed cornerback Chris Wilcox. Chris Wilcox was most recently waived by the Los Angeles Chargers. All right, continue to work through this. We then signed cornerback Quandre Mosley. And Mosley hasn't been playing football for a little bit of time. Mosley has not been playing football since May. And that was with the Buccaneers at their rookie minicamp. But obviously the Carolina Panthers had their scouts out looking for him, knowing who's out there and available, so they signed him to the roster today. The next few people signed cornerback Willie Drew. And you notice, let me point out something here. These first 3 signings are all cornerbacks. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. But these first 3 signings are all cornerbacks: Chris Wilcox, Quandre Mosley, and Willie Drew. We then signed wide receiver Sam Pickney, and then we signed running back Jaden Sheran. Now, these last 3, Willie Drew, Sam Pickney, Jaden Sheran, they were all previously with the team earlier this year in camp. All right, so that will cover you guys, getting you all up to date on the 5 signings. So I see some questions coming through. I see a member that has signed on. I appreciate you. And once I get through these remaining transactions, I'm going to go back and answer all the questions, and then I'm going to check on out of here and tell you all what to expect from me for coverage for the rest of the week. And by the way, if you have not subscribed and you're watching this video, I need like 6 more subscribers to get to, I think, 10,500. So if you're watching, you're feeling generous, you enjoy the content, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I always also encourage you to hit the like button, as it'll help other Carolina Panther fans find out about the channel. We placed cornerback Anthony Brown on injured reserve. So you see we did lose a cornerback there. We also placed quarterback Jake Luton on injured reserve. Can't wait to hear from Coach Canales on that one. Knew nothing about Jake. He seemed fine. He played the whole game this past Saturday night, but obviously he had some kind of injury, and he's now on injured reserve. Then we waived injured cornerback Lamar Jackson. So raise your hand. Well, you can't raise your hand. Hit the like button. Put the number 1. Let me know if you're surprised about Lamar Jackson being released, or just type his name, Lamar. Interactive videos. That's why we go live. I want to interact with you all that are watching. Lamar Jackson, I won't say, oh man, this guy was having a heck of a camp by any means. But I would say that he was starting to make a name for himself, other than being the other Lamar Jackson that does not play on the Baltimore Ravens. He's been looking solid, but it tells you coaches are looking at certain things in preseason games, and with number ones not playing, barely number twos playing. I mean, this past Saturday, the Carolina Panthers and the New York Jets started their third string quarterback. So a lot of people are typing the one or Lamar for being surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised. Lamar Jackson, 26-year-old guy, cornerback, he was waived injured. Now, let me put this back up on the screen here. You see, we waived injured and did not just put him on injured reserve. So what that means when we waive injure a guy and not put him on straight on injured reserve is he can return to the Carolina Panthers on IR. Again, he can return to the Carolina Panthers on IR, at which point they could do other things. But essentially what this does is it's basically a little bit of a financial play, right? So if they put him on IR or waive settlement, there's money there on the hook for the full contract. But if they waive injure him and somebody out there happens to think, well, hey, he's a pretty solid guy, we feel like we want to get him on our team, well, then at that point, they take on the full financial responsibility. The Carolina Panthers get release of theirs. So it's just a little bit of a financial play that they're doing with the guy to try to get some financial relief there. They may or they may not get it, but that's what they're trying to do. Also waived injured wide receiver Tavion Robinson. And then, kind of surprising, maybe not. Again, this is a live show. I want to interact with you all. Leave your comments on what you think. But they waived injured running back. I'm sorry, not injured, just waived running back Dylan Johnson. Dylan Johnson, this guy just had his first career touchdown in the first touchdown of the Dave Canales era in preseason. And like a couple days later, he's gone. So it is definitely a business in the NFL, not for long league. I'll always like to say and remind you all as these different transactions happen that it's really a business. So that is the breakdown for this Carolina Panthers team today. Yeah, it seems like, how many people here? So let me try to get this right. Cameron Walker, Micah Evans, Bench 22, David Gore, Nicole, Chris Garay, Josh, Mark, Frank, Earl. Yeah, a lot of you all are surprised about Lamar Jackson. Hey, again, I'm going to put this up here. I'm pretty sure he was waive injured, so he could return. But yeah, a little shocking, but what we will continue to do here at Charlotte Vibe is bring you all the news, why it happens, when it happens, and tell you as much information as we can to help you understand why it may have happened. All right. Outside of those transactions, most of those guys were cornerbacks that were signed and released. We have a lot of people in our secondary that has been hurt. We have Dane Jackson. We have Lamar Jackson, which is currently waive injured. And then we also had Anthony Brown, that all are recent injuries, so that caused a lot of transactions to take place. So I saw a question. Let me see if I can quickly find it and get back to it. Hey, Cameron, you mentioned that there was a different background. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Got to do this because always got to show my members much love here. What's going on to Nicole, one of our members here, signing on. It was a question that was early on. Here we go. Overlooked it pretty easily. From Chris Garay. Hopefully I said that name correctly. Will Bryce Young play this week? So that's obviously a question that a lot of people have. We have not seen Bryce all preseason. I'm going to keep it short because I think some may already know how I feel. I know maybe I'm just like a little bit of an old school guy. I want to see the guys play. I feel like you can protect them. I don't want to be like, hey, let's be scared the guys are going to get hurt. But currently, most teams are not playing their starters. At first, now let me remind you, this Saturday we're going to play the Buffalo Bills. I'll be there, so continue to stay locked in. Turn on your bell notifications to see my coverage live, pregame, postgame, and stay on Twitter during the game. But previous to today, Sean McDermott of the Buffalo Bills had said that he planned to play his starters in this final preseason game. Well, the injury bug has been biting him up there in Buffalo, so he has decided to turn and say, hey, no, my starters are not playing. So when I heard that, I'm thinking that Dave Canales will probably go the same route. He'll probably go the route of continue to sit his starters. He's had a lot of injuries. He's had more injuries from this past Saturday. And just say, hey, he might even want to see Bryce Young himself, but, it's just not worth it. I just can't take that risk. You have other coaches, you even have other coaches in the NFC South saying that about, down in Atlanta, about Penix. It's just too many guys can get hurt. Guys have been getting hurt, and I just want to protect that guy more so than have the risk of him playing out there in preseason. Also saying that they've gotten, Atlanta has gotten a joint practice, which we have gotten. Coaches feel like they can really control a lot from practice itself and get a lot out of guys, create situations that are like a game. There you have it. I still feel, your boy still feels like there's nothing better than that guy on the other side playing for another team, and he is out to get you. Bryce can still get the ball and throw it on the ground. But anyway, I said I'm not going to rant on that part, but I did want to answer the question about will Bryce play this week. Not official, just my opinion. Bryce will not play this week. All right, let me try to get through a few more questions before I get out of here. As always, giving preference to our members. Now, I don't know all the accuracy of Leonard's comments here, but I know we were shut out 2 of the last games last year. We had a field goal in week 1. We had a field goal and then a touchdown in the last second. So what? They waived the guy who broke the 237-day offensive TD drought. That's messed up. And Leonard, on top of that, that was the guy's first career touchdown in the NFL. I hope they gave him the game ball. Would have been nice if they gave him the game ball. All right, let's see what else we can get before we get out of here. Like the video, please, if you're watching. Why bring Sheran back? I don't understand that play unless they are just going to waive. Yeah, so some of this, you just don't know until you have a chance to talk to more people over there at the stadium. So today was an off day. Media, we did not have any access to coaches or players to ask any questions. So we will get that opportunity tomorrow. And if I get to more information, I'll share that with you. Which, by the way, let me go ahead and give you a little bit of the schedule for the rest of the week. Practice will be back available to the media Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then no media access Friday, and then back again, of course, media access on Saturday with the game in Buffalo. Normally, I put out 2 videos every day. There's practice. There's the highlights video, and then there's my recap. Tomorrow, I will not be there doing the actual practice. So tomorrow, unfortunately, I will not be able to put up a highlight video. But I will continue to do my recap video. So just make sure you set your notifications and watch that video. Wednesday and Thursday should be things back to normal. Highlight video as well as a recap video. plus the possibility of whomever, whatever player I may talk to one-on-one, which for all those that are currently watching, I currently have 130 that are watching right now. Let me know. I'm the man of the people. Let me know what player you would like for me to interview most one-on-one this week. Again, let me know what player you would like for me to interview one-on-one this week. I will do my best to make sure that I get that particular guy that you all point out for me. All right. Oh, and I forgot to answer the other part of this question here. Like, why Sheran over Dylan? I don't know. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys would be, as you're saying, practice squad players anyway. And, yeah. Hey, we got another member that signed on. What's going on, Badrick? Gotta always shout out the members. More people surprised about Jackson. Yeah, Jackson's a shocker. It's a shocker. You know, they could have just felt like they weren't going to. I don't know. Again, you got that financial aspect of it. That may be the biggest play. That's just me guessing while I talk to you guys. That could be the biggest play. It's like, hey, maybe it's an opportunity to save a little money. I don't know what the injury was. Don't know the extent of it because we haven't had that information. So again, preseason, we don't get a lot of official information on injuries. They don't have to give us anything. So we just take what we can get. Look at this from Juju's show. You are my hero, Chris. Hey, Juju, I appreciate you very much. You know, I'm going to give you a little round of applause, little extra sound effects here for those positive comments. Thank you so much. Thank you. Again, reminder, I think I needed like 6 subscribers to get to like 10,500. And if you're watching, you haven't subscribed, be so kind of do so. Subscribe, help us grow bigger, allows us to do more with player and coaches interviews. I would appreciate it. Spence 22. This is talking about starters not playing. Just to sum it up, yeah, they're afraid of they're trying to. I won't say they're afraid, but they're just cautious about the possibility that he could get hurt. I feel like afraid to get hurt means like he's nimble. You touch him, he's gonna fall and be damaged. I don't think that's the term for it, for how they're choosing to do it. I think the better term is. And not to nitpick on words, but I think they're just being cautious. Just don't want to have that possibility take place and like, oh my gosh, now what are we going to do? But I appreciate the comment very much, Spence. What's going on, your boy Kales? Now, because you are a member, I will quickly put this back up. Here are the transactions. These are the players that have gone. And then these are the players that we have added. So because you remember, I'll put that back up there at your request. Okay. So request. Okay, Xavier Legette, TMJ, Clowney, Legette. Okay. Keep on leaving. If you're watching the rebroadcast and you have a vote for what player you would like for me to interview one-on-one, please just leave that in the comments. I promise. Man of the people is because I take what you say and I try to use it as much as I can with the broadcast and how I cover this team. So I will again review that before I put in my request for that player. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It was another great show. I will continue to keep you updated. Chris Jenkins reporting for Charlotte Vibes.